Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Coughlin baseball, but we probably talk Coughlin soccer or wrestling or football as well, because we're talking with Brandon Butry, a senior at the school. Brandon, heck of a guy you are. You're well-rounded, involved with the church. You're involved with all these different sports. You do a pretty darn good job in the classroom as well. First of all, it's baseball season. Let's talk a little bit about how baseball season's going for you personally.
Personally, it's going well. I've had better seasons like last year. I had some better seasons, but we're starting to get, as a team, we're starting to get better. I'm catching, and I mean, I'm hitting the ball pretty well, but not as I would like to. But hopefully it'll get better. There's a couple more games left, so hopefully it'll end it on a good note.
One thing that you are is you're a go-getter. You like to keep a busy schedule. Let's first talk about that between soccer and football and how you were able to balance that, having the soccer uniform on and changing real quick, get the football uniform going, getting out to a game. Tell us what it was like in the day to be Brandon Butry in the fall.
Well, for practices, I'd go for soccer for about 2 hours, and then I'd go to football for about 30 minutes and do the special team stuff. Then I'd leave. There was some conflicts Friday night games. I think this year was Hazleton and Williamsport. Hazleton for soccer and Williamsport for football. So that was interesting. Got there in time right in for kickoff, but I enjoyed it. It was lots of fun, and I'm going to miss it.
Brandon, heck of a leg you have. Watching you in practice, nail some long field goals and different things like that. And, of course, in a high school football game, it's hard to get a real long field goal try in there. But nonetheless, talk about your furthest kick as far as whether in a game or in practice and how much leg you have.
In practice, I kicked a 60-yarder. I had some wind to my back, but, yeah, that was my goal for my whole high school football career, is hit a 60-yarder. Before the end of the season, which happened, which I was very glad about. In the games, I had a few short ones, which was good. I'm glad Coach gave me an opportunity.
Brandon, let's take us through wrestling season. You're one of those guys that fought through, and you made some noise not only at districts but at regionals. A couple big wins for you. Tell us about that scrappy mentality and scrappiness on the mat that you had.
Yeah, I was really surprised myself. My teammates were pretty surprised too. I really didn't want to wrestle, but the coaches kind of talked me into it. My friends were talking me into it, teammates. And I knew the team was going to be very good, so I tried to help the team out. I wrestled 160, and the season I was about a little over 500 for the season. Then I went in districts. I was thinking I never won a match in districts, so the goal was obviously to win a match, and that happened. And it happened a few times in districts. I ended up placing fourth, which I was really excited about. And I moved on to regionals, which I never did before. And I actually won 2 matches down at regionals, the most out of my whole team, which I was very excited about.
Brandon, one of those guys, you're punching the clock. Tell us about your family background and that blue-collar mentality you seem to have that has made you pretty darn successful, even though you've probably flown under the radar and maybe a lot of these sports you've done. There's been a couple of guys maybe have been a little better here or there, but you're one of those guys that I'm sure at the end of the day, you're pretty darn proud of what you've done as a Crusader.
Yes, I am. And my family's been there every single game. I can't thank them enough. They really pushed me, and they're really the reason why I play 4 sports. They really enjoy watching me, and they like to watch me succeed.
Brandon, let's talk about what you're going to do at the next level. Are athletics going to be part of what you're going to do? And tell us about the academic component. Where you're headed next year.
I'm headed to Ave Maria University, which is a small school down in Naples, Florida, and I am going to be kicking on the football team. I got some athletic scholarship as well as academic scholarship, and I'm going to be majoring in exercise science and hopefully going on to graduate school for physical therapy. That's the main goal. But, I like Florida. My parents are going to move down within a couple of years. My grandparents are down there, so hopefully everything works out.
Well, tell us about the collegiate choices you had and why you decided on this school in Naples, Florida.
I had a lot of local schools like Homing, East Stroudsburg, a bunch of those schools that I visited. I talked with the coaches, everything like that. And I really had my mind set on Florida because I knew my parents wanted to go down within a couple of years. My grandparents were down there. So I really want to go to Florida. I visited a couple schools in Florida, Warner, Southeastern, Stetson, and Ave Maria, and I liked Ave Maria the best. I think it was the best fit for me.
Brandon, talk a little about, obviously, all those sports involved, and mention a little bit about the church component, your community that you're serving, and you mentioned your family. Tell us about the things that you've learned from them to kind of, whether it's serve your church, serve your community, serve your family, serve your fellow student athletes at Coughlin as well. Talk a little bit about what you've done with your career that you're proud of in some of those areas.
I like to think I'm a team player. The reason I go out for wrestling is to help the team win, because I really am not a fan of wrestling. For the church, my mom always told me that's great for college, great for just the community. Helping out the community makes you feel better, and I agree with her, and I'm glad she pushed me to do it, and I really do enjoy it. It's lots of fun.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are proud of you, including your family and the people at Coughlin High School. Well represented, that's for sure. All your coaches and of course, the people you represented at your school as well. Brandon, congratulations on a fabulous academic and athletic career at Coughlin High School.
Thank you very much.
A well-rounded Brandon Butry from Coughlin here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.